Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? I really want to talk about Nick and Hannah. And I want to start off saying that these two couples, because I'm talking about the second part, right? The second part of Love is Blind. Now, these two couples are Aquariuses, right? So, two Aquariuses in a relationship. I'm going to start there, right? So, just according to the sources online, they say that Aquarius can become emotionally detached and may struggle with emotional intimacy. And they also say that Aquariuses are peaceful and may keep their feelings to themselves, but they can also communicate their views without giving much, like without saying much, you know? And they also say that Aquarius value their independence and may prioritize intellectual pursuits over emotional connection. So they're really like independent signs, and they like push for that. Like that's their more focus. Like they're more focused on having their own. Aquarius are most comfortable in impersonal relationships where they have specific, things to thrive for, and then they like space, they like do good in relationships where they have like space to thrive on their own, where they have a lot of independence. So when it comes down to two Aquariuses, they can benefit from each other abilities to help each other succeed, but they can also have like similar sense of excitement, curiosity, and they may know how the other person thinks and what to say, but they aren't really able to communicate their views without saying much. If you understand what I'm saying, like they don't communicate very like often, or they want to say enough, but just enough to where you're on the edge, right? And it doesn't work out if both of you guys are like that, because you guys are not really having intellectual conversations and such like that. But I say that these two being Aquarius is like very much so why I don't know their relationship ended or was the way it was, because both of them like value different things, right? So in most cases, like Aquarius is like value financial, like they want financial stability over like just emotional connection. So two Aquariuses, like they care about just wealth and like just being secure in that light. They're very much that. They're not very like feely, touchy, emotional people. So I see on the show Hannah is like pushing her Aquarius, and Nick is trying to, play it cool and just chill and, play it back. But she's like it's just showing that she's putting those things first. Now, before I give you guys my opinion on their like personal relationship, I also want to have these two clips play, because I think that this is also important in understanding two Aquariuses in relationship.
Can Aquarius date themselves? They can. They can. Aquarius, you can date yourself. Now, Aquarius, there is regulations I want you to put on your relationship, Aquarius, because for some reason, Aquarius, you too free-spirited for me. You're too free-spirited for me, Aquarius. You guys always have an open relationship. I don't know where that comes from. There's not a lot of rules when it comes to you dating yourself, Aquarius, because you just are so open-minded. You just want, just communication, and that's okay. That's okay. It's not okay, Aquarius. I don't know how many times Aquarius call me about dating another Aquarius, and they're so, hesitant because of what the last experience was. And I'm like, what's your last experience, Aquarius? There was so much that you allowed, Aquarius. So much that you allowed in that space. I just want, like, Aquarius, you know what I want for you, Aquarius? I just want you to have a contract written down. You know how you treat your relationship like a business anyway. Aquarius, you treat your relationship like a business anyway. Like, Aquarius, I want you to do what's best for you before the relationship starts. You know how when you guys get married, there's a prenup and stuff like that? Like, Aquarius, you got to do that for the relationship with another Aquarius, because it gets too crazy for me. It gets too crazy for me. I feel like there's too much that goes on in that relationship, and I feel like you just need to be free if that's the case. Like, if you was going to allow all of that. Aquarius, you're an anything goes type of zodiac sign. You know, I always say that you like doing relationship things without the relationship, Aquarius. Now it's time to not do that. Okay, Aquarius, it's the time to put your foot down once. Two Aquariuses always make an open relationship. It makes an open marriage. It makes it open, like, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
When one Aquarius is living in the lower vibration while the other Aquarius is living in their higher vibration. Well, Aquarius living in their lower vibration, this is the energy of being a little bit erratic. It's a little bit unpredictable. This is definitely the energy of being just a little bit rebellious, like kind of going against societal norms. And it is definitely the energy of being a little bit detached. So when one of the Aquarius is living in this lower energy and the other one is up in their higher energy, it's likely they're on separate wavelengths, because you have the lower vibrational one is detached from the relationship, and the higher vibrational one is doing their own thing already anyway. Marching to the beat of their own drum, and it's just totally missing each other. Before we move on to the ugly, when both parties are living in their lowest vibration, the ugly here is a little bit similar to the bad, where one is in the higher vibration and one is in the lower, because once again, you have two detached people from the relationship. Like, does the relationship even exist, or are they both just wildly detached? The other way that it could be very ugly in the lowest vibration is they're both really rebellious, and so they might be rebelling almost against each other. And so you kind of have this opposite kind of dichotomy working here. You either have them like doing their own thing, living their own lives, and like not really putting an effort into the relationship, or they're clashing heads constantly. It's kind of a constant battle between the two.
Now, this is two Aquariuses dating themselves. So I hope that that kind of gives you guys like the foundation of how bad this could be. But let's really talk about it, okay? Because it could be a really beautiful thing, you know, if they maintain just a friendship, but when they go into it for relationships, it just doesn't normally work well because they're very financially focused on just their stability, you know? And so that's why. But in the season, in my opinion, what I didn't value about Hannah a lot was Hannah took every opportunity that she could to let it seemed like she was going at him to prove something to the world or the cameras more than like, you know, to hit her or within the relationship, because she met him in the past. She talked to him. She knew different things about him. And he was very transparent about a lot of things, you know? So she knew different things about him, and certain things was downplayed. I understand from that perspective, but also she knew. So the thing is, him living with his parents and all of that, I'm aware, like, I think she knew that. She already had the information on it. So her consistently making it a thing or trying to like harbor, he was definitely like very irresponsible, and it seemed like he never took certain things. But I almost want to talk about how in certain households, when parents are alive, they kind of have that relationship with their kids, especially if you're an only child. You know, you go places with your parents help you out. It just becomes that. But when you get grown, you're supposed to step up and do these different things. And I think it's completely based on family dynamics. Some people welcome their kids' independence. Other, people, it just kind of is implied. However, nothing is taken, no steps or nothing is being taken to show that, hey, now you're taking over your own phone bill. Now you're doing this. Now you're doing that. You have to gain some responsibility for yourself. And I think that, in his case, his parents and him have had things done a certain type of way, and they haven't wanted to stress him out, and they still see him as their child, not even a child, but their child. So they just, have not made it a thing like, hey, you have to, do this and you have to do that. But as a grown man, he should take on certain responsibilities for himself. So I get that perspective, but I think that they have an understanding between them. And I don't like that she took every chance that she got to belittle him about it, because the thing is, whatever his situation is, it is what it is. You just have to decide if you're going to deal with it, put up with it, choose him, But every step she got, like every time she found out something that wasn't the best about him, she highlighted it, well, do you even do this? Do you even do that? Like it seemed almost like it wasn't more like informational for her to like understand before making a decision. I think it was more putting him down or trying to make him feel bad. When you quit your job, you're the one that quit your job. You don't have a job, and he's not using that every chance he got. And the thing is, she was so mean to him that every time he took a little jab at her, we was here for it. The audience was here for it to see like, yep. Because if you see somebody consistently keep putting somebody down, putting somebody down, and that person finally speaks up for themselves, you're going to be here for it. And I think that she made him the underdog, like the way Leo treated her, I felt so bad for her. But now I don't feel bad for her because she just comes off like a B word, like an entire B word. Every time it's just a nag. You're unsatisfied with everything, child. Just leave. Just leave. Don't even go through the situation of trying on a dress or go through the situation of, potentially making a decision. You already decided you don't like him. You don't like him. And I think you need to leave him alone. You are very, very toxic. very toxic. And the thing is, it's not what she's saying, because she's right about him not being responsible, or him not taking it up upon himself to, own and, step up to his responsibilities and saying, hey, I should be responsible for this. I should be responsible for that. I should. He's not doing that. And that's correct. However, there are certain ways to go about having complaints or making a complaint. It doesn't have to be nasty, or it doesn't have to be evil. And she's given a lot of evil feelings. When she met, like, her parents was like, now she was not met her parents, but she did the meet and greet with her parents with him. I felt like she almost had to tell her parents to have a negative thing to say about him or feel negatively about him. And I didn't like that. The parents was like, he seemed pretty cool. Like, he's cool. She was like, yeah, grill him. And his parents was so sweet to her. Like, oh my God, you have passed all our expectations. We're so happy. Like, they were so sweet to her. And she was just being upbeat to their son. I promise you, once they see how she was acting, without them being around, or, when they was one-on-one, they be like, oh no, we don't want her for our son. They gonna see how, like, she acts. Because what the hell, girl? What the hell? And then she has lost so much weight since the show. Her face was very fat. Her face is a little bit skinnier now, and like since the show has aired or whatever, she's lost a lot more weight. So she's, definitely blossoming more and more into this beautiful, gorgeous woman. And I love that for her. That weight loss looks amazing on her now. But she was always a beautiful girl to me, always an amazing girl. I just don't like how, because she had such low self-esteem, I feel like she had to put him down in order for her to feel good about herself. She had to beat up on him. I love her brother, because her brother was here for her. Her brother was almost gossiping with him. I love her brother. Her brother's so cute. But it just gave like she had to hurt him in order to feel good about herself. It was like, it gave bully energy. It just seemed like that. There's certain ways you can have a complaint or have an issue with somebody without just being a complete B word. She was just a complete B word. So it was hard for us to watch, because it felt like it was unprovoked. If you understand what I'm saying, it felt like it was very unprovoked. Like, what did he do to deserve you to speak to him in such an ill manner? Like, what did he do to make you, like, just behave that way? You were just unintentionally very nasty and mean. For why? Like, for why? Like, why are you like that? I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. I felt like she was a very nasty person, and unnecessarily nasty, especially because he was trying his hardest to be just polite. Be kind to her, be polite, because you didn't have a job, you know what I'm saying? And all, like, you could tell she was a recovering big girl, because like, what she say, almost like $300 on groceries a week. Girl, what you buying? Because groceries, that, like, spending $300 a week on groceries is crazy. It's crazy work, okay? Especially since all you eat is salads. All you eat is salads now. Since you lost all that weight, what is you spending all that money for? Nick gave, I know how to budget, boo. I'm not finna spend no $300 on no freaking food. I think she said $300. Yeah. For what the hell? No. She was doing way too much, all that freaking money on groceries. Child, he was like, it seems like she's just living beyond her means. She's like, you know what I'm saying? I understand being responsible and such. I think with him, he's a very subtle person, because if you're like living off of somebody else's dime, you're very careful as far as the amount of money that you spend. So he knows how to budget, because he knows his parents don't have much. So he's had to, like, live off of what they are offering, and then also make a way, because he is a realtor, but I just think that, like, how she was moving and how she just acted like she just had it all together. And sis, nobody has it all together. We're all trying to figure it out, sis. Yes, some people have more than others, but hell, we're living in a recession. It's hard out here, okay? Shoot, we haven't picked who was going to be president next after Joe Biden leaves. We don't know what life is going to contain or consist of, child. We don't know. So the way in which, like, the whole thing is pegging out, or how MFers are, like, handling things like they're just better than the next, I don't like that. That's how Hannah was. Like, she was just so better, in a better predicament than he was. Help him or shut up. Because, girl, what is you so, like, negative about? Just very negative, child. I don't know. I didn't like her entire aura. I felt like she could have been nicer to him. It's one thing to not agree with how he lives his life, or the fact that he depends so heavily on his parents, but you could have communicated that in a much better way. You were very nasty. You were very disgusting. And as a beautiful girl, you showed yourself in a very negative light, which it was hard for us to accept you. It was hard for us to like you, because of how you were, like, and how you treated him, and how just your overall aura. It seemed like in every situation, this is a process. Get what you get, and respectfully make your decision, whether it's to stay or to leave. But in every situation, you just made it dreadful. It seemed like he was just happy, and then here you come, just pissing on his Cheerios. Like, what is your issue? It seemed like she just was a very negative person in her life, and I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Or she just very big-headed. Like she just felt like she was the bee's knees. You lost some weight, so now you think you're all that, sis. Don't be out here trying to shun somebody else or make somebody else feel bad. Like, she had to just make him feel bad so she could feel good about herself. She did not show herself in a good light at all. And every time she took the opportunity to make him look bad or put him down, it just highlighted how much of a B word she was and made herself look bad. So it backfired on her, and it's just nasty work. It's just nasty work. I just think he deserved better. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Tell me, do y'all think she's right so far in the season?